On this unique episode of MythBusters, it's the Young Scientist Special.
That equals fire.
When 4 of the brightest brains in the country join the team to put a trio of tall environmental tales to the test.
I think it's outrageous and preposterous.
Carrie and Grant get young scientists Alyssa and Catherine in deep doo-doo.
Who's having a good time here?
No comment.
Can this awesome foursome fire up a mower on methane?
I told you we needed an electric start on this thing.
The full start was cheaper.
Then Adam has a brain explosion.
Hit me in the head. That's it.
When he, Jamie, and Brandon put a new spin on electric vehicles.
That was awesome.
Finally, can Scotty take the heat?
Is there any way you can make it louder?
Shut up.
As she, Tori, and Whiz Kid Eric blow the lid on global warming. Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
It's time to destroy it.
And Jamie Heineman.
I like it.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Cue dramatic music.
Joining them, Carrie Byron,
This should be interesting.
Grant Imahara, and Tori Belleci.
I want to make a withdrawal.
They don't just tell the myths,
Isn't that awesome?
they put them to the test.
Young Scientist Challenge.
Absolutely. 40 of the brightest science whizzes in the country, all competing for the prize of being named Discovery's Young Scientist of the Year.
40 finalists, huh? How do they pick a winner?
They run them through some fairly serious scientific hoops, a set of challenges designed to find out who is the smartest science kid on the block.
Well, what do they get?
For starters, they get a fistful of cash, man, $20,000.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
The winner of the 2007 Discovery Channel Young Scientist Challenge, Eric Gustafsson.
So that kid Eric, he's the winner.
Yep, and don't forget, he doesn't just get that dough, he actually gets our prize as well, where he and 3 of his co-finalists get to come right here.
And work with us.
Yep.
Hello, young scientists! Congratulations on all your hard work this week and becoming finalists.
The Science Channel prize will be a trip for several young scientists to the set of MythBusters in San Francisco. You know, I think we should do something green with these kids. There's a ton of environmental myths out there. It's exactly what they're interested in. That's what we should tackle.
Right, well, let's see who we got to work with.
Would Alyssa Chan come up here, please? Alyssa? How about Catherine Haber? Where are you, Catherine? Brandon Shee, where are you? Eric Gustafsson, where are you, Eric?
They look like a great bunch. I can't wait to meet them.
You don't have to wait long. They'll be here soon.
Excellent. Let's get to work.
Okay.
Where are they?
I don't know.
What did that note say again? Welcome to MythBusters. Meet us in the blueprint room. Signed, Jamie.
Dude, where are the kids?
I don't know.
Well, where did you tell them to meet us?
Oh.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry we're late. It's really all Jamie's fault.
Yeah, you guys are looking a little green.
We have a bunch of green myths to test. Can you guys help us test them?
Yeah!
Fantastic. We got one to do with the greenhouse effect. We got one to do with electricity, and we have another one which I don't think I'm going to tell you about just yet. So let's go. Come on. Let's roll.
Go, 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 go.
Move, 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 move.
It's green for go because our 4 young scientists are going to turn the heat up on 3 environmental myths. First, Brandon meets Adam and Jamie to find out if electric cars are just good for nothing slowpokes. Then Eric, the Young Scientist of the Year, joins Tori and Scotty to see if greenhouse gases really make our planet warmer. And Alyssa and Catherine, well, they've got a myth with some real beef as they find out if cows really spell calamity for the climate.
No.
Okay.
What do we got?
We got a myth about the general perception of electric cars.
You mean that they're sluggish, not very peppy?
Exactly. We're going to tackle it and find out if it's true.
Could be fun.
Could be electric.
Ah, the humble electric car. Small, slow, and really a bit silly, right? Well, maybe not. Adam and Jamie are going to bust a fuse to find out.
So what do you think the plan is?
First, we need to get a basic electric car and see what it does.
Okay, I agree, but we're eventually going to go to the full-on state-of-the-art, right?
Absolutely.
So before state-of-the-art comes run-of-the-mill. A regular car that's been converted to run on battery power. And bright spark, Brandon Shee is in the hot seat.
We're going to blindfold you. We've got two cars, one electric, one not. We're going to put you in the back seat of those cars, blindfolded, while we run them through some paces, and you're going to give us your impressions.
The cars are identical, but one runs on gas and the other on batteries.
I don't want you to know which one is which while you're driving it. So, Jamie, you're going to put on these headphones, and you're going to play some music while you're driving, and Brandon, well, obviously, you're going to be blindfolded.
While Brandon can't see which car is which, Jamie can't hear which one is which. The gas car leads first up.
In the middle with you.
Then the team pit stop and swap to the electric car.
So, Brandon, blindfolded, in the back seat of both cars, what was your impression? Could you tell the difference?
It was actually hard to tell. The second one seemed a lot smoother, but in terms of speed, I don't know, because they both felt like they were going fast.
Jamie's lead foot, and experience, meant he had no trouble picking the electric car.
This car, the second car, it's real sluggish on the startup. Once you got going, it was pretty much the same, but for some reason their acceleration on the bottom end was really low.
And what that means is that there may be some mileage to this myth. Maybe electric cars really are slugs. For test 2, the guys hit upon a bright idea. Maybe they can build their own electric vehicle and see if they can put a bit of pep in its step. But Brandon's days as a passenger on the show are over.
We got rules, and you'll address me as Mr. Heineman and Adam as Mr. Savage, okay? And you'll say, sir before and sir after whenever we talk to you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Then it's down to business. They'll fit a large electric motor to a go-kart, add a bunch of batteries, and then see if they can make the kart smoke.
That's what I'm talking about.
What is that?
Lithium iron phosphate. State of the art. We're going to bring this up to about 90 volts.
That is beautiful.
These are Big Daddy versions of the type of batteries that power laptops and hand tools. They're light, but they deliver plenty of pizzazz. So an electric motor powered by 26 of these bad boys should really get the sparks flying. And Brandon's job is to help make sure it's the tires that smoke, not the wiring.
Do that whole side, but you'll go down one. If you do this, that equals fire. And lots of push-ups.
Yes, sir.
So 2, 2, 2, 2, all right?
Then it's all power to the car. Brandon's got it wired right.
Wow. I just got like a really warm feeling through my whole body.
It works.
Fantastic. Let's get this thing out to the track.
And out on the track, it's go time in the Young Scientists Time Trial. A showdown between the MythBusters Green Machine and a gas-powered rival.
Are you ready for this? You ready today?
I'm ready today.
Today is go-karts. We're racing a gas go-kart and time trialing it against an electric go-kart. You feel good?
I feel good.
Okay, hit me in the head. That's it.
All right.
Adam's first weapon of choice is the gas guzzler.
Gasoline-powered go-kart time trial. 3, 2, 1, go.
Adam will get 4 laps, and the fastest one will count. He's quick, but it soon got him all in a spin. Finally, he gets in his fastest lap.
How did I do?
58 seconds.
Ha! Let's break out the electric one.
Next, it's a myth that's got a lot of people hot under the collar.
Okay, Tori, so you've heard of global warming, right?
Yeah.
Well, some people think that carbon emissions are increasing the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere and raising the Earth's temperature, therefore causing the polar ice caps to melt, and that's not good.
What you're saying is maybe we should test to see if CO2 does increase the temperature in our environment.
And while we're at it, I think we should test some other gases to see if they're also contributing.
Many people remain unconvinced that CO2 and other greenhouse gases are causing the Earth to warm up. It's a hotbed of controversy, a controversy that the young scientists want to resolve right here, right now.
What's the plan? How are we going to test this?
Well, I think we should build a series of greenhouses. We'll fill them with our different greenhouse gases, put some ice inside, and see if it has an effect on the ice melting.
That sounds great. But you know what might be kind of cool is instead of just ice, we do ice sculptures. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do 4 exact sculptures. So what I'll do is I'll make a little maquette, we'll have it scanned into the computer, and we'll use a CNC machine to make duplicate ice sculptures.
And while you're doing that, I'll get to work on the greenhouses.
The plan, build identical greenhouse boxes, put identical ice sculptures in each, add measured quantities of CO2 and methane, and see what happens. To help them out, Discovery Channel's Young Scientist of the Year. At just 11, Eric Gustafson's the ultimate pocket rocket scientist.
Now, are you familiar with global warming?
The fossil fuels are made up of strings of hydrocarbons, and when you burn them, they release many different greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide and methane.
Eric's got it down, but for the rest of us, well, here's a graphic. Light waves from the sun travel through the atmosphere and are absorbed by the Earth's surface, warming it up in the process. That heat is then radiated from the surface back to the atmosphere, where gases like CO2 absorb it and in turn heat up, increasing the warmth of our environment. At least, that's the theory. But back to business, measuring up for the greenhouses.
Scotty, I think I have all of the marks now.
And organize in the little piles.
Yeah. I have number 1s, number 2s, number 3s.
Perfect. I better keep you around.
Next, they frame it all up and turn the back into a heat trap.
The reason we're painting it black is because it'll absorb more heat and more light and re-emit it as a longer wavelength, and that's the whole reason the greenhouse effect works.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah?
Here's $20. I want you to go paint Adam's car now.
Really?
Be a good boy.
The greenhouses are covered in mylar, so the light gets in, but the gases don't get out. Then they seal the seam with silicone.
All right, Eric, so our first box is complete.
Yep.
Thanks for your help. I'm going to knock out the next 3. Why don't you go help Tori with the ice sculpture?
Okay.
Well, that's a move that takes Eric from the greenhouse to the madhouse.
So, Eric, you've seen the show, right?
Yep.
You know what's in this box, right?
No.
This is a block of C4. You're going to sculpt Adam out of C4, and at the end of the episode, we're going to blow it up. You got to be careful because it's very volatile. I mean, if you drop it, it could go off.
Okay.
So be careful. Take it slow. You don't want to peel off the wrapping too fast because it might set it off.
I'm not sure if he's crazy or not right now, but I'd much rather have him sculpt Adam out of C4 explosive.
And here's the mission. Tori will mold a Jamie doll, Eric, and Adam doll. And the best looking one will be the model for their ice sculptures.
Isn't working on MythBusters fun?
Sometimes. But then there are the times when you could potentially be exploded, so.
I know. It's like you got to take the good with the bad. That's what I always say.
Tori's going great guns, while Eric's handling his with kid gloves.
All right, Eric, you done?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think?
Wow, that looks just like Jamie.
That looks just like Adam. Sweet. Okay, now that they're done, why don't we scan this one, and we'll use this for the ice sculptures.
Okay.
And then we can blow that one up.
Awesome.
Yeah! For our global warming experiment, we need 4 identical ice sculptures. So we're here at Artistic Ice Design, where they're going to use their CNC machine to make us 4 ice Jamies. See the drill?
Yeah.
Carve it up, bro!
These CNC, or computer numerical control machines, are programmed to produce identical sculptures. But as for that grating din they create...
Don't you just love that sound? What's wrong, Scott?
Each sculpture takes around 40 minutes to carve. And then 4 identical ice Jamies emerge.
Get it, America. You got it? Atta boy. No, let him. He got it. Come on, man. What are you doing? Don't drop them. Now that I have my army of ice Jamies, I'm going to take over the world. But first, I want to see which greenhouse gases cause these ice sculptures to melt faster. Let's go, buddy. Oh. You guys make me one more?
Our young scientist Brandon and Adam and Jamie are testing the tale that electric cars have no get up and go. Adam's already taken the gas cart for a spin. His fastest lap, 58 seconds. But will it run rings around the electric one?
This falls into the category on MythBusters of another thing I get to do that is so crazy cool. Like sitting in the doorway of a helicopter at 3,000 feet, having an octopus eat out of my hand. Skydiving. Racing these go-karts is such a rush.
Adam's hoping to put in an electrifying lap on the battery cart. But 26 high-output batteries have beefed up the cart in a way the guys weren't quite expecting.
This one is 302 pounds.
302 pounds? 120 some odd pounds heavier than the gas.
That's what the batteries and all the rig weighs. What are you going to do?
Well, take it out on the track for starters. Adam's revved up to see if his electric charge can give the gas burner a bit of a jolt. Both carts develop an identical 25 horsepower, so will the extra weight of the batteries slow down the electric cart? Battery doesn't have the growl of gas, but Adam's hoping it's got the bite. He has 4 laps to find out.
It's absolutely silent. All I can hear are the tires. It's almost like he's not there.
And a montage later, and the results are in.
1 minute.
Woo! Dude, this thing smokes!
So the slug tag's starting to look a little tarnished.
Electric versus gas go-karts, what do you think?
Well, time-wise, there was no difference between the two.
Yeah, the electric held its own. It was no slug.
And now it's time for a real blast. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, Carrie, guess what the biggest polluter in the world is?
Cars.
No.
Factories?
No.
Tory?
Close, but no. It's the humble cow.
Cows? Seriously?
Yes, and according to this myth, cow flatulence is the biggest single contributor to global warming.
Well, as crazy as it sounds, I mean, that makes sense. Cows produce the greenhouse gas methane, and methane has 20 times the effect of carbon dioxide in global warming.
Also consider that there are over 1 billion cows in the world.
Well, I guess we have a beefy myth to bust.
Forget cars, forget factories. The inconvenient truth of this myth is that it's cows that are the world's worst polluter. But can the humble heifer really be bringing the planet to its knees?
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can test this?
Well, why don't we just start with the basics? We'll get some cows, check out the engine room, see how much methane they produce, and then do a little math. Being that there's 1 billion cows in the world, we can see how bad for the environment they really are.
That sounds like a good plan, but I'm a little fuzzy on the see how much methane they produce part.
I have a rough idea for a gas catcher.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
Well, that's precisely what the young scientists are for.
And here are the young scientists, Catherine and Alyssa. Unfortunately for them, they've got no wind of what their methane mission is all about.
Hello?
Come in. So, Catherine and Alyssa, right?
Yep.
So do you guys have any idea what myth we're going to do?
Not really.
It's going to be a dirty one. You might want to change your shoes.
Uh-oh.
With just enough time to say, boot scoot, they're off to a dairy farm to gather gas.
Welcome. Are you Albert? I'm Albert. I'm Grant.
Dairy farmer Albert Strauss is an expert on methane gas. His famous Creamery Organic Farm's been going since 1941.
We are on the hunt for some methane, and we followed our noses here.
You came to the right place.
What we're trying to find out here today is how much methane a single cow toot would contain. And then from there, we can figure out the impact that one of these little cows has on the environment.
Luckily, the MythBusters have plenty of experience with bovine behavior.
This is starting to feel like a bad idea.
So the young scientists are in good hands.
Give him back!
I've been slime.
The plan is to bag bovine bottom burps using a yet-to-be-patented gas grabber.
Plastic bag at the end of a pole with a string. And so when the cow lets off some gas, she pulls the string, and hopefully in that bag will be something that constitutes methane.
Slowly.
Carrie waits for the exact moment to pounce.
Grant, this is utterly disgusting.
You're doing great. Try and blend in. Oh, there's one up there, up to your right.
Oh, no,
that's a number 2.
Lucky she's got lots of backup.
I don't think they like you.
Maybe if you rub some poo on you, you'll smell more like them.
And as with all great plans,
Careful.
Easy.
Slowly.
That's good. Good, I think you got it.
I don't think they like that.
One down.
Good job.
That's not as easy as you might think it would be.
but has Carrie nabbed a bag of wind or just a bag of hot air? Only UC Davis air quality guru, Dr. Frank Mittliner, can tell.
You've measured the wrong end. The majority of methane comes from the front end of the cow, not the back end.
Yep, you heard right. After all their effort, they've got the wrong hole.
So how is the methane produced?
The methane is produced in the rumen of the cow, the first stomach. It's very large, about 50 gallons.
50 gallons?
Yes. The microbes inside the rumen keep producing methane gas. And of course, one way or another, this methane has to come out. But the main end is the front. He's belching it out.
Inside these bovine biobubbles, they can monitor methane levels from every burp and every cow pat to levels of 1 part per billion.
So generally, how much methane does one cow produce?
Just as a rule of thumb, between 250 and 400 pounds per cow per year.
So that's 1 billion cows making 400 pounds of methane each a year. Ouch! And that's not the only bad news.
Once the manure gets old and older and stored someplace, it produces methane as well.
It's methane mayhem, all right. But what's that mean for the myth?
Okay, what have we learned so far?
Your average cow burps over 300 pounds of methane per year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering there are over 1 billion cows in the world, that's almost 16,000 tons of methane per hour.
And to make matters worse, as their manure rots, it creates more methane. So all in all, it's looking like cows are pretty bad for the environment.
Not so fast. I mean, while there's nothing you can do about the burps, apparently you can harvest methane from manure, which you can then use to power things.
You realize that means we have to collect poo.
Which is precisely what the young scientists are for.
And what better place to harvest this cow dung than back at the creamery?
You girls ready to see how dirty science can get?
Oh yeah.
Because of their relentless burping, the cow's character reference is taking a nosedive. But if the Mythbusters can use the methane from their dung, then their reputation may be saved.
All right, you guys, now comes the glamorous part of TV work.
And what self-respecting, up-and-coming scientist wouldn't love to get their hands on a project like this?
Huh? Who's having a good time here?
No comment.
We got 3 containers full of fresh cow dung. We're going to take them back to the shop and try and build our own methane digester and see if we can get it to work.
Jamie and Adam are testing the myth electric vehicles are slowpokes. The electric go-kart kicked butt. But before they call the myth, Adam wants more proof. And at Infineon Raceway, it's time to up the ante.
So, what's up next?
Next we got motorcycles.
Nice. This is the Kilocycle, the world's fastest electric drag bike. It's 490 horsepower, 374 volts, and it has a dry weight of 645 pounds.
Bill Dubé's built this bike from scratch.
What do you have to say to people that think electric vehicles are slugs?
You see it out in the track, and you tell me if you think an electric vehicle is a slug.
And the Kilocycle will be slugging it out against this. Cue race caller Brandon.
This is a gas-powered Pro Stock drag motorcycle. It has a horsepower of 270, 2680 cc, and a dry weight of 420.
And the contender, pure electric grunt. And that's just the warm-up run.
They're all ready. I think we need to get down to the finish line to watch this.
Let's go, I can't wait.
Which one's faster? You know, I really don't know.
Each bike will do one timed run. The Kilocycle. 163 for the quarter. Now that's quick. But at 166 miles an hour, the Pro Stock just wins the game.
Man, they both were going fast. That bike is smoking! I've never seen anything like it. 500 horsepower from batteries? Okay, so maybe I got beat by the gas-powered stock bike, but only just. Next up is we are finishing with the Flash.
Really, really, really fast cars.
Is cow power real, or just a load of old bull? Can these drums of doo-doo do the trick and make methane? There's only one way to find out. Back at M7, the methane digester tanks arrived.
125 gallons.
Now, a methane digester's a barrel you fill with organic material. As the organic material breaks down, it gives off methane gas.
Kind of looks like a cow. You got like this big belly, you've got the little legs down here. All it needs is a head and a little tail.
You certainly have the artist vision.
So to make the digester work, you have to get this into that. It's time to slip the slop into the digester.
The worst case scenario, a virtual tidal wave of will engulf Carrie and I, soaking us to the bone with cow dung.
Okay, everybody ready for this?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready.
Maybe we should have opened this on the ground. You ready?
No!
Okay. We're okay. Get the lid. Pull the lid up.
Yeah.
There we go. That's perfect. Just like clockwork. Carrie?
Yeah?
Take the lid. Look at me. Look at me. Stay with me. Take the lid and tilt it forward as you pull it back. Perfect. Okay. There's got to be easier ways to save the environment. See? I told you it was foolproof.
Hey, piece of cake. And of course, always leave a bit of time for potty humor.
No!
So now they've filled the tank with 100 gallons of goo, leaving room on top for the gas.
When I came to MythBusters, I was expecting to do some drilling and cut some steel and, you know, build stuff, but this is more of like a smelly job.
Once the temperature starts to climb towards the optimum 90 degrees, they cap the top and add some plumbing.
This is our methane digester. And in this tank we have 100 gallons of cow manure. The gas comes out at the top, comes down this tube. This valve bleeds off any condensation. The gas continues along, splits off, goes through these cutoff valves, into the coupler, into the tire inflation valve. And if nature takes its course, hopefully, these will inflate with methane.
After much thought, Catherine christens the methane maker, Moo Moo.
Beautiful.
We even made a tail.
Then Cisco Imahara gives Moo Moo a bit of a giddy up.
Come on, Moo Moo. Let's make some methane.
Call him crazy, but it's worked. The hippie heifer's been very busy overnight.
I'm so excited. We just started with some cow dung and we already have 2 inner tubes full of methane. I think it's really useful because cow dung is something that is free and we have a wonderful supply of it and people can use it as power.
Next question is, for what?
So the challenge here is to take a regular off-the-shelf gasoline-powered lawnmower and convert it to a Moo Moo methane-powered lawnmower. If we get the valves all set up right, hopefully we'll get some sort of ignition.
And that brings us to the blowing up bit.
Normally the gasoline engines rely on a correct mix of fuel vapor and air. So we need to see what happens to methane when you add air to it and see if you actually get enough of a reaction that could possibly power an engine.
This will be 10-inch pure methane.
Pure methane hasn't enough poke to power a mower. But add 5% oxygen to the mix.
Woo! Yeah! Methane packs a punch when you add a little fire, but when you add a little oxygen and then a little fire, it goes from to BAM!
Which is exactly what internal combustion engines need to operate.
But will it woof the lawnmower into action?
We'll stick an electric motor on just about anything we can get our hands on. So if you want to see an electric ATV go up against a gas one, log on to discovery.com/mythbusters.
The The heat's on back at Ice Station Central. The greenhouses are ready, and the Jamie ice dolls are chilling out. But can their small-scale greenhouses back at M7 really produce a plausible greenhouse effect? The guys head off to consult an expert at UC Berkeley. And after a little demonstration showing the power of ice...
Oh my God!
It's down to business.
So I've heard a lot about people making models to predict the future of global warming. And with all of the complicated systems on Earth, wouldn't that be a little difficult?
We can do experiments on small scales in the lab. We can make observations on a global scale. But you're right, it is hard to replicate in a 3-foot by 3-foot chamber. It's a challenge. I think it can be done, but it's a challenge to replicate that.
Challenge? That's MythBusters' second name. And back at M7, it's time to commit the Jamies to a watery grave.
Poor Jamie's looking at you like that.
That ice-cold stare.
Try working with them all the time.
Everything has to be kept identical in this experiment.
That looks good right there. So that's 1,570 foot candles. So let's try to get all the lights so that that amount of light is going into each greenhouse.
Okay.
Accurate thermometers are essential.
These thermometers measure 1/10 of a centigrade.
To make sure it all runs to plan, the guys have called in Manish Gupta, a gas monitoring expert from Los Gatos Research. The Earth's CO2 levels stand at around 350 parts per million, and methane a tiny 1,800 parts per billion. But amounts that small are no problem for this gear.
For methane, it's in the part per billion level, and for CO2 in the part per million level.
So now they can up the greenhouse gas levels in minutely accurate increments. And once the gases are in, everyone can chill out and watch ice melt.
Let's start melting some Jamies.
At Infineon Raceway, the Kilocycles proved one thing. Battery power is hot, but it still got beat by its gas-powered rival. So, what's next?
This is the X1, an electric sports car. Its 400-volt, 600-amp system gives it 250 horsepower, and its dry weight is just over 1,500 pounds.
But is this a pretender or a contender? Inventor Ian Wright says the power is in the polymer.
These ones are lithium polymer. It's actually the same technology used in model airplanes. They're a high power-to-weight ratio battery, so from a 500-pound battery system you can get as much as 700 horsepower.
Wow. In the other corner,
this is an F430 Ferrari. Its 4.3-liter gas engine gives it 495 horsepower, and its dry weight is 3,400 pounds.
The gas car is a pedigree-proven performer. With top-notch just under 200 miles an hour, this flying pony's definitely no slouch.
My money's on electric on this one.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a close call.
They're straining at the leash. And in 3, 2, 1... Electric ran the quarter in 11.96. The Ferrari slower in 12.7.
Electric kicked gas's butt.
It really did.
Well, it's clear as could be. The electric car smoked the gas car. So if you think electric cars are sluggish, you're wrong.
The electric car won by plenty. But crazy as it seems, its top speed was slower than the Ferrari, 103 versus 119 miles an hour.
So what's up with this? The X1's top speed was lower than the Ferrari's, and yet it won.
Well, it's because the electric motor has a lot more bottom-end torque. It got off the line quicker, so it didn't need to go that fast to win.
Wow. So the secret to the action is in the traction. The power's fed progressively to the wheels, and with no gearbox or gears, the electric car's linear acceleration means it doesn't lose its grip off the line, whereas the gas car wastes time spinning its wheels, and that's enough to give the X1 the winning edge.
It's quicker, but not faster. Yeah. That's cool.
So far, the guys have gunned the go-karts, dragged the bikes, and given the sports cars a spin. But next, it's time for the ultimate test.
I want to know, though, what it does against a real race car. Can you arrange that for me?
I'll make some calls.
Okay, good. Let's do it.
At Rancho El Stinko, Moo-Moo's got gas. 2 bags full. But is that enough to light up a lawnmower?
It's where we see if cow power can actually turn into real power.
So the mower gets hitched up to pure moo-moo power. And
Keep pressure on it, guys.
How come you don't have an electric start on this thing? I told you we needed an electric start on this thing.
The full start was cheaper. Sorry.
it takes years of experience to come up with this solution. Our strong recommendation, don't try this at home.
Almost.
You like my electric start?
The pressure's on. The girls have added an extra 200 pounds to the inner tubes. And the sockets finally socked it.
Methane-powered lawnmower!
That's powered by manure!
I am so proud of Mumu. She filled up 2 full inner tubes and we actually powered the lawnmower using her methane.
Methane-filled inner tubes in the shop is one thing, but letting this 2-ring circus loose in the big wide world is something else entirely.
We've come out to an organic lawn because the idea is we want to get some clippings to feed to our organic cows back at the creamery.
Just when it looked like Mumu was going to be a party pooper,
That's it.
Okay, we have ignition.
it works. And it cuts grass, too.
Now, if I were going to, design a methane-powered lawnmower from scratch, I'd probably start with something similar to this, but I'd have a pressurized tank on board so that you don't have to have people standing on inner tubes, and most importantly, an electric start.
So it's time to take the clippings back to the creamery. And Albert's let them in on a family secret. His whole farm runs on moo poo.
The surprising thing about this dairy is that it works in real life on a gigantic scale.
Oh, it's a river of poo!
Oh, can you smell that? That is the sweet smell of power.
And it all goes into this.
So that's the size of digester you need to power the farm.
Yes, it is. It does about 90% of our electricity.
How much gas is produced by this pond?
We produce about 2,000 cubic feet per day.
And how much liquid does it take to produce all this gas?
Oh, this is a 650,000 gallon pond.
Wait, so you don't have any electricity bills? You don't have any gas bills? You don't have any bills to heat your water up?
Very little.
I'm getting me a cow.
Albert, you really know how to show your guests a good time.
Yeah,
I'm standing on one gassy cloud right here.
you are.
Oh, what if I fall in?
Carrie, remember,
Oh, it's a river of poo!
the MythBusters Methane Mayhem has finally come the full circle.
So is cow gas ruining the environment?
I'm afraid the myth is confirmed. But there's good news.
We can harvest the gas produced by the cows and use it as power.
And also eliminate a lot of greenhouse gas at the same time.
So it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
But the news isn't all bad because there's a way to minimize the effects.
More good news. You two can go home and take a bath. Seriously, take a bath. Thank God.
Have you smelled yourself lately?
I'm coming with you.
It's the big freeze. The temperatures have been steady in the controlled greenhouses, while,
The methane and the CO2 have been a degree higher consistently.
but after 3.5 hours withstanding the heat, the Jamies finally cracked.
So we've let the experiment run for 4 hours, and I think from the results that we're getting, we can come to a conclusion. Both the methane and the CO2 greenhouses remained hotter than the control. Throughout the whole experiment, it looks like the gases do increase the temperature inside the greenhouses.
The CO2 greenhouse stayed steady on 24.8 degrees Celsius, the methane on 24.9, and both the controls were consistently a degree cooler.
I think that this is showing that CO2 and methane are major culprits for global warming.
All right, so the results from the global warming experiment were pretty conclusive.
Yeah, the greenhouses with carbon dioxide and methane stayed consistently warmer than the control.
Yeah, it was almost 1 degree Celsius warmer the entire time.
All right, so this one's confirmed?
Confirmed.
On the racetrack, the myth that electric cars are slowpokes is hitting the skids. There's one more test for the X1 sports car, if Jamie can find a worthy challenger. Then, As if by magic, he finds a pedigree race car just spinning wheels in the pits.
The FJR50 is a Formula 3 race car. Its 2-liter turbocharged gas engine gives it 300 horsepower, and its dry weight is about 1,200 pounds.
And it's got a serious nutcase to drive it.
I don't know about this one. I don't know whether it's a fair race or not. That's a honest-to-goodness race car against a street car.
Yeah, that's not about fair. This is now about pure fun.
It's showtime. The ultimate test. The X1 street car's got a real job on its hands against the fully fledged Formula 3 race car.
Dude! That did so much better than I thought it would. That was amazing.
I think our work here is done. The results speak for themselves.
They totally do. The electric vehicles were anything but sluggish and slow.
Myth busted.
Totally. Let's go.
But there's still one little item of unfinished business.
There's something I want to let you in on.
Okay.
You remember when I had you sculpt Adam?
Yeah.
And I told you it was C4?
Uh-huh.
It's not really C4. Because, I mean, would I do something crazy like this if this was C4? I mean, I'm nuts, but I'm not that crazy.
This isn't gonna really explode. You're just trying to trick me.
I don't know. Here we go. Plug your ears.
I knew it!
Hey, are you in the 5th to the 8th grade? Do you think that you have what it takes to be America's next top young scientist?
Go to discoveryeducation.com/young scientist and enter Discovery Education's Young Scientist Challenge.
But enter soon. The deadline is June 15th.